I'm open to any suggestions, but this basic genocide by ourselves, being perpetrated by ourselves, needs to stop.
We're going to play the end at the beginning just to give my man EK a little leeway because what he said at the beginning is wow. It's not even bad. He's coming from a good place, I'm hoping. Let's get into it.
We in the black community have a major problem with violence.
Now, I'm not negating what he's saying. There is a problem with violence in our community, but a major? I mean, from what I was looking, it was under. Not that this number is good or acceptable, but it was under 5,000. Actually, not that that number is acceptable at all. So it is, but it's almost a mountain out of a molehill. So that I was saying, but I think that he's also forgetting the perception or how we are portrayed in said media outlets. Even going back to the smack era, and I don't mean the smack, the whack era, like in the early '80s. We were looked at like monsters with the whack babies and all that. Like, so the perception, like, I understand what he's saying, and I don't think it's more like we have a big problem. It's more like it's the perception of us. If the perception changes, then people may be a little bit more understanding, like they are with the new epidemic that's facing people in our country. It wasn't a scourge on America like the whack era was back then. If I'm sure you recall that, man, and how we were perceived. So that is a role, and even with the imprisonments and the rest, like how we are overcharged and over arrested, and you know what I'm saying, false imprisonments and exonerations, like all those are playing a factor. So don't negate that either. And I think that's where a little bit get lost. You're just doing the surface of it. You got to go a little bit deeper, and I know you're deep. I know you are. Let's keep going.
And no, I'm not shitting on the black community. I know I've been accused of that often on this platform.
Just a little bit.
It is not true. I'm simply pointing out facts. I will not be blind to facts. The leading cause of unalivings for black males between the ages of 14 and 40, according to the CDC, is homicide.
Yeah, see, that's where it's a little confusing at, EK. You said unaliving, so that would almost be like pews and stuff like that. What else? How could this unaliving rate? But what about the like the eternal nap? What are what's the number one cause of that? Like like I guess natural causes. What would that be? I think it's like heart attack or cancer or something like that. So like you see what I'm saying? Like it's almost twisted a little. You putting all that gumbo instead of just getting us the layers, buddy. Don't mix it all together. Just give us the layers. Let's keep going.
That's a problem. When the black murder rates or unaliving rates are somewhere in the neighborhood.
See what I mean? But like I said, I'm not negating that. I think anybody trying to take a life is foolish, but that is my opinion. So I agree with you on that part. We gotta slow that down.
Neighborhood of 27 per 100,000. And when you compare that to the white community, where it's 3.2 per 100,000, the Latino community 6.9, and the Asian community 1.4 per 100,000, we got a problem. If we don't address this problem, how can we ever expect to correct this problem? And I don't care that I'm airing our dirty laundry in the public. Maybe it will shine a spotlight and get people to come up with ideas of how we can correct this pathology that's going through our community.
Now that question is a doozy. How do we stop it? Wow. I think we gotta start loving each other first and foremost. Um, and maybe I don't want to say put such a high standard on us, but like some black folks who are MAGA or AKA black, they put such a high burden on black people that it almost makes it unfair than other to be black. You know what I mean? Like I've had plenty of conversations where I ain't gonna even get into it, but it's almost like they at a certain level, it's the talented tenth perception of where they almost look down on us in a sense, and it's and the irony of that is like the majority of black people have voted for Democrats, but that back and forth, it's like y'all doing this wrong. But like the majority of us are doing this wrong. All of us, like they don't even like introspective. I've been wrong being the black Democrat, and I had to admit it. But it seems like that MAGA doesn't want to admit it, and you'd be like, but I don't know how that. But never mind, never mind.
It is unacceptable. Too many mothers and too many fathers are going to too many funerals. We have to find a way to curb this violence.
Now, don't get it twisted. On this, I agree with the EK. Not on a lot of politics, but this, I agree with the EK. So, if you have any suggestions that I could pass on to EK, please leave it in the comments. We're going to tag him because I'm sure he's going to do a response. He's cool, okay? And we finally agree on something, but we might, we always agree on something. Appreciate EK for the video. Y'all go and subscribe to his channel. As in always, this is your moron with the conscious, aka conscious moron. I don't know if this is the first one or the second channel.